No, but like we were.
Going what?
So we are the STEMtists, and me, Nick, Craig, Gideon, and Fawmy, and we are here to present to you an idea that we have in mind.
Okay, next slide.
And you are?
Me, Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay, so next slide. So we are the STEMtists. We are an FLO robotics team, and we're doing our research project on food waste. And we're trying to our project is trying to reduce the amount of food waste at Suncrest Middle, and we need your help. Next slide.
Now, from research, we found that roughly 133 billion pounds of food are wasted every single year, a confirmed fact by the USDA. That's over 30% of our food supply. Now, our solution is to present a competition for grades to compete in to promote recycling, composting, and proper food disposing in a fun and enjoyable way.
So with with our competition, we're gonna have each grade try to get the most recycling cans filled and the least amount of garbage cans filled. So they have the garbage bin set up and they also have the recycling bin set up. And at the end of the day, at the end of lunch, we have monitors that count up how many recycling bins are filled up and how many regular garbage bins are filled up, and they tally it off. And we're also gonna have those monitors help for the kids that are throwing their trash away to put the right stuff in the right place, with the fruit and compost in the one spot and then the other trash in the other spot.
So what we figured out is that we throw away at the school roughly 15 to 20 trash cans a day, all grade levels including breakfast. And each trash can weighs roughly 50 pounds, which is a lot of trash. And what we hope to do is cut that number in half, and we're going to do that by hopefully creating a garden out of compostable foods and stuff like that. And we also would like to maybe possibly reuse the food, although we're not sure exactly how we do that because there are strict guidelines for the school lunches. And another thing we hope to do is recycle the recyclable materials, and so we can use those in different ways. And lastly, we hope to spread this idea to other Mon County schools.
We understand this will take lots of time and work, but we think it could be a new start for Suncrest Middle School. And we aim to start near mid-October, and so that it can go on for years to come.
And that's our presentation.
So we're hoping that you will say yes and let us go through with this plan.
Okay, the issue that you have is there's a lot of state regulations and state guidelines. Okay?
Yes.
We have to start more so than from me, because to me, we talk about this constantly about how much food we waste here at lunchtime, okay, and not recycling. There's a lot of issues with recycling, trash. Who's going to pick it up? Where are you going to take it? What are you going to do with it? Okay. Food-wise, yeah, I agree with you. A lot of the food goes in a garbage can. Okay. However, that's not my doing. Okay. That's state regulations. They do that because of disease. A lot of lawsuits because you can't serve food that's not, that's old or whatever. Somebody, with allergies and things like that. There's a lot of different issues and a lot of reasons there. But what you need to do is you need to start not here. You're starting at the bottom. If you want to do something like this, you're going to have to go a little higher than me. You're going to have to probably go to the lunch person that's in charge of all the hot lunches in Mon County first. Her name is Karen Girardi. Okay, she's what's her title?
Child nutrition.
Child nutrition.
Can I type that down on my...
Here, Richard.
Oh, okay,
We have
We're going to have a meeting with her and tell her what you'd like to do. And then she's probably going to say, this is over my head too. You're going to have to go talk to somebody State Department-wise. And they're probably going to say, and it's over our head, you have to talk to somebody federal-wise, okay? Because this is all federal regulations all coming down. We're just following what they tell us to do. Used to be, when I was your age, they used to, all the leftover food was scraped and put in separate garbage bags. And they would feed, farmers would come and pick it up and they'd feed it to their pigs. At least somebody or something was getting it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you know yourself, you can't take scrap food and somebody else eat it. Okay, that's almost impossible to do. But there's a lot of food that when kids get it, they throw the whole thing away, don't even bite anything, like apples. and-
That's right. We
That's what
saw
we-
that. That's
yeah.
where we originally got our idea.
And legally, we're not allowed to collect any of that. That comes from state and federal guidelines, okay? We're not allowed to do any of that. It's against all the regulations and all the laws. So you'd have to start there. And if you want to do this, I mean, it's a lot bigger than what you thought it was going to be. It's not through me, okay? We're following guidelines, okay? And that's where you're going to have to start, okay? And that might take a lot longer than mid-October.
Yeah.
You might be
But-
looking at the rest of the school year just.
You
talking
could
to-
start with your student body though, and say instead of wasting so much food, instead of taking as much out of the cafeteria if you're not going to eat it, lower the amount of waste to begin with.
Yeah.
We could use it.
And then your recycling, what do you want to recycle? I mean, you got cardboard there from your milk containers to just regular paper, and then
Plastic
We've
bags.
got some plastic forks.
where you gonna take it?
Plus, when we saw that they use a lot, when they use the styrofoam, that counts up for a lot of garbage bins. So we were hoping to also cut down the usage of the styrofoam.
But what
cans.
you guys need to do is, you're gonna have to figure out where are we going to take it, who's going to pick it up,
We
how
know
often,
it.
because I know I don't want, and I'm
Yeah.
sure Mrs. Burkhart feels the same way I do, that I don't want this stuff laid, we can't leave this garbage laying here, because we take it straight to the garbage can. So somebody's gonna have to pick it up on a daily basis. What parent is gonna be responsible enough to do that, or wanna do it, okay? And that's something you guys would probably have to do after school every day.
And you had mentioned compost. Where would you compost?
Well, we were thinking about creating a garden here at Suncrest Middle School. Just
It would have to
I would
happen in
have-
the spring,
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
where would you put a garden?
Well,
Well,
that would be-
okay. Well, I mean, there are several places where there's green space at Suncrest, and I'm assuming that we can find somewhere to put it.
Okay, tell me where there's a
I
big
mean,
enough
there's-
green space
There's the
that you
football
can-
field, but we can't put
there's
it
like
there,
stuff
obviously.
behind it.
There's
Though,
stuff-
like
yeah.
near Miss Mills' room. You know that big like grass
There's a big
spot
grass
near
spot
her
there.
spot. Maybe we could do it over there. But I'm not sure.
Or we could create space.
Or we could just do it like near like
I would
one
say
of our
take it
places,
somewhere
like one
that
of our
somebody has
houses.
a farm somewhere,
Yeah.
or they put it there,
Something
you know,
like
because
that,
you're talking
yeah.
a lot of smell. That stuff's
Yeah.
not gonna smell pretty, and,
Yeah.
you know, you're not gonna want that around the school because of this thing. You need to do some research on what all you've brought up. It's easy to say all that stuff, but you got to research it and find out what all, I mean, you're talking about a pretty big project, okay? It's gonna take you some time.
Back on the recycling thing, Mr. Dombrowski found someone that repurposes plastics and makes them into clothing.
Oh, yeah.
How
So,
much plastics do you have at lunchtime?
I mean, we got the forks, we got the fork wrappers,
Okay.
spoons.
Spoon wrappers.
And
Spoon
then
wrappers.
people that have cold
And-
lunch, they usually have plastic bags.
And you could probably do that on the side, but you're gonna have to come up with a container, and you're gonna have to come, somebody's gonna have to come to stand by that every lunch and make sure the kids are doing that, not throwing food into that and everything else, okay?
Instead of
Well-
starting school-wide, why don't you just start with your 8th grade class?
You know,
Yeah,
start
we
small
can
first,
see
and
that.
then if it picks up there, then somebody else can do 7th grade, and then somebody can do 6th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Just make sure you have a place to take it every day. Who's going to collect it, who's going to, where you gonna take it?
Mhm.
Are you gonna make money off of it when you recycle, or are you just gonna donate it back, or?
Yeah.
You know, but the first thing I would do, especially for the food side of it, would be to talk to this child nutrition person. Okay, I'll give you her name and phone number, you can give her a call, maybe she can come out here, or you guys can go in there and meet her and talk to her, tell her your idea. And I guarantee you, she can tell you who to contact from State Department or federal guidelines or whatever. She can give you a bunch of phone numbers. I mean, it's gonna take a lot more work than just, this is what we wanna do.
Oh,
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll see where we can go from there. I would research your compost. How do you know putting food in the ground,
It's-
all kind of food, meat and everything else
Yeah.
is going to give you gravy? I can't imagine meat and gravy and all that put in the ground is gonna be compost, it's gonna help the garden grow, okay? That's
Well-
so, you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people, they usually eat the meat and stuff.
Yeah,
it's,
they
it's
just
mostly the
like throw away
vegetables
the
and
fruit and
fruit.
Mashed potatoes and stuff that gets thrown away, and gravy and all that soup and
Yeah.
stuff today was thrown away. I
Yeah.
mean, you gonna put that in the ground too? I mean, you're talking, what can you compost? You can't compost everything.
Not if it's got dressing on it, salad that has dressing on it.
So really, a lot of it's just waste. And yeah, we do waste a lot of food, there's no doubt. Okay.
But you can also talk about reducing waste.
Yeah.
Reducing.
Yeah, the best thing to do is educate the kids and say, don't take it if you're not gonna eat it. Okay, now, they do have some guidelines there too, because I know you're supposed to take 5 items. That's state law. Kids have to put 5 items on their tray whether they're gonna eat it or not. When they leave that lunch line, they should have 5 of the 6 items on their tray. So that means if you only wanna eat one thing, the other 4 get thrown away.
Yeah, they need to enforce that if they're gonna try to do that, because it was, I mean,
Maybe you might want to go, if you talk to somebody from the State Department, and say, why do we have to take, it's offer versus serve, and you have to take 5 of the 6 items. If the kids are going to throw 4 of them away, why do they have to take 5 of the 6? Why
Yeah.
not just the one they're going to eat, you know? So those are things, you know, you could bring up to help the whole state out, you know, so.
okay, we could do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
We have to do a lot more research.
Because you guys, you know that yourself, you've probably been in there where the cook has said, hey, you have to get 5 items, guys, you have to get 5 items. Well, you don't want 5 items, you only want 2.
Yeah.
So 3 of the 5s will get
We
thrown in the
see
garbage.
kids and ourselves throw that food away, and that's why we want
Now, apples and things like fruit, more so apples, you could probably recycle and feed deer or something like that,
Yeah.
or horses or whatever, but who's gonna pick it up, who's gonna take it, who's gonna do that, yeah. So, there- you know, some of that stuff you can do, but some you can't, okay?
Mm.
So that's what you have to figure out. You'd have to sit down and look at the lunch menus. Okay, they're gonna have this today, we could recycle this,
Oh,
okay?
yeah,
You know what I'm
we could do
saying?
that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be that bad.
And, but you gotta start, not from me, you gotta go higher than what I am.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
following what they tell me to do, okay?
to.
So, talk to Mrs. Girardi, and, from whatever she tells you, maybe she can send you to the state, or,
Better.
I didn't give you the number yet, I will now. You ready for the number?
Yeah.
Guys, it's a great idea.
Thank you.
And we know it's like also it's a robotics team, but also we're thinking we don't want to just do it because of that. We want to do it for the whole school and other schools because we see this problem happening.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is an issue, it's been an issue for years, it makes me cringe every time I see food like that get thrown away when people are starving to death. It's real. So somebody who's given her those guidelines, they're coming from the state, and I guarantee it's coming from the federal government, all right, that you cannot do any of this stuff, because unfortunately, there's a lot of lawsuits out there, and there's a lot of allergies and things like that, and that's why they've made these guidelines. They don't want to take the chance in education to give food away or put it anywhere if it's going to hurt or harm somebody, because then they're liable.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
Now maybe could we start by like telling people at lunch to only like
Yeah,
You know how you're
you could
saying
go
only
talk
take
to all the
what you're gonna-
lunches, and, you know, the 4 or 5 of you, we can get you a loudspeaker, and you can say, we're on a campaign here to save the world, if you want to.
Reduce waste.
Yeah.
Reduce waste, and we see that a lot of you are grabbing stuff you're not eating, and you're throwing it away.
Just grab what you want to eat.
There's a lot of people, you come up with your facts. So many people are starving they don't have any food to eat in the world, and you guys are throwing all this stuff away. And now, the only issue you want to have there too is that there's no doubt that it's state law that they have to take 5 of the 6 items, okay? So that's what we need to get changed.
But they don't have to pack their tray full of 5 or 6 items that they're gonna make.
Yeah.
They can just take a little bit.
So talk to Mrs. Girardi first.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
the easiest thing you might do, if you get to the point that you want to scrap the idea of the food waste and go to recycling, like you said, the plastics, you know, that would be easy for you to do. On the side.
Because those are like little.
Yeah,
You know, and then you could have, you know, you could collect, I don't think that would be much collection. Make up a container of some kind, have everybody throw the plastics in this particular container, start small, and then,
Keep
We
going,
also want
yeah.
to make sure that they come with something that's doing it a little bit better, and that's a little bit better, so that it's not.
you know, make sure you have somewhere to take it.
Yeah.
You're talking about plastics, forks, spoons. Are there people that take those to recycle? I didn't know that.
I guarantee it. Yeah, I guarantee it.
So you need to find that out. And that, I mean, a fork, spoon, all that, a whole bucket full does not weigh that much. So you do just plan on doing just to do it.
Especially if it's someplace local and not someplace you have to mail or something.
Yeah, like the shirt day.
Good idea you guys are thinking, and, you know, stuff that we've thought about for years, but there's nothing we can do because there's so many guidelines, our hands are tied. You know?
Okay. So we'll call that person and
Call her and she could tell you where you need to go from the county. So you went school, county, state,
state.
and then federal
can
government.
do it.
That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you
Do
right
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
now. These are all
Alright.
federal guidelines coming down from the federal government to all the schools in the nation. And so,
Yeah.
okay, so you could do a little research and find out where this is coming from, why is it coming, what can you do to change some of it. I don't see why even some of the food that we have left over, I know the cooks have some, they don't serve everything. They have some food, they might have hot dogs left over, so why can't we give those to the food banks around town? And why do we have to throw that food away? They have to throw all that food away, whatever they have left over, it has to go in the garbage can. They can't take it home, it's illegal, legally, they cannot eat it or take it home. It has to go in the garbage can every day. So they waste a lot, and that's only this school, just think, what, 28 schools in this county? And then think of the state, think of the nation, they're throwing all this food away that's left over, not what kids don't eat, I'm talking about
It's not been served.
they don't serve. Sometimes they serve things, they have no idea how many kids are gonna eat. So they over make a lot of their food, and all that stuff gets thrown in the garbage too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should probably go north and see how they're doing their
Garden.
garden
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Because you know they're doing their thing.
I don't think they're doing any compost there, are they?
Yeah, I think I saw.
No, they
You
are.
think they do?
I think they have a
Now,
compost.
they're
think
growing,
they-
they're,
just
they're growing some of their
I think they-
vegetables and they're eating it in the
Yeah.
hot lunch program, I think. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure about that, are they?
Yeah, I remember in 5th grade that there was a worm farm thing
Yeah, that's
going
how
on.
they were doing
Okay. So composting is a little different because you wet foods if you want compost. You can't just take every food you
I
got.
would say the cafeteria would compost, like whatever they washed, or if they're making salads or lettuce.
Yeah.
Or maybe some of the lettuce that you peel off of the outside, they might be composting some of that. But I do believe